What's going on, guys? Welcome back, y'all. It's another GG and Friends episode. And guys, I'm excited to talk about the latest that's going on in movies, TV shows. Guys, there's a nice little stack of news we got to talk about this week. And let me tell you, some shakeups, y'all. Some shakeups in the business world. If you're new here, go ahead and hook your boy up with that HBO special. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up down below to get us up in the algorithm, you guys. Thank you so much for coming back. We got some of the usuals down in the chat. I see Luke Ponto down there, man. What's going on, dude? Congratulations, man. I know you're coming up on a graduation, so congratulations, bro. Huge achievement. Pat yourself on the back. We got Christian Knight, Bob's Adventures. What's up, Bob? And we got Loretto. What's going on, Marcellus Durden? I think I see Real James in there, too. What up, homie? What up, what up? We got one of our usual co-hosts. The one with the hot takes, y'all. Yes, I'm talking about the purple one. No, not Thanos. No, not Barney. I'm talking Candid Cinema, AMX and DA Reviews on Twitter. Amanda, what's up, girl?
Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry I missed last week, but I am so excited to be back here with you tonight.
And no Christian with us tonight, but
No.
I managed to get us some sound effects, y'all.
Yay!
Little something for us, but
Yay.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me always. We make a good time.
Yeah. Hey, look, happy Taco Tuesday. I agree 100%. Amanda, what you been watching this week?
I took a break. This like last weekend was a disaster, man. Like there was Woman in the Window, there was Those Who Wish Me Dead, Spiral, Halston. I got a chance to watch. Didn't touch the Underground Railroad yet, but I'm just like floored with how many things came out this past weekend. Dude,
there's so much. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Not to mention Love, Death, and Robots on that list too. There was another Castlevania, if you're an anime fan. I'm like, dude, there's just something for every fandom. This is like March all over again. Like, literally.
And every time we're like, April's going to have a break. May's going to have a break. Nope. No, there's always that 1 week where we just get smacked and we're like, are you serious right now? We have to watch all this?
What is this break thing you talk about? It just doesn't exist in this world.
It's a Kit Kat. It's a Kit Kat.
Hey, one of my favorite candy bars. I love it. Started with 1 to 10, and check out some of the upcoming things we've got going on. I mean, we had a trailer for this one on Sunday, Snake Eyes, which is a continuation of the G.I. Joe series, which the last movie was in 2013, so it's been 8 years since the last one. But did you check out the little 30-second teaser they had? They hyped this up, y'all. I mean, I'm talking on Twitter. They're like, tune into the MTV Awards. Watch tonight to see some new Snake Eyes exclusive footage. And then it was 30 seconds of footage, and it pissed me, or like a minute of footage. I'm like, when you think of like a trailer and people hyping something up, I'm looking for like 2 minutes, baby. Give me like 2:30, 3 minutes. What the hell is up with 1 minute? But are you feeling it? How do you feel? Henry Golding in the role now?
I mean, I adore him. I love him so much. And I really am happy that he got this like massive like action franchise. He deserves it. I never cared for G.I. Joe. I remember the first one came out and like I was just happy because, oh my God, Channing Tatum was a hot commodity back then. I mean, like we watched it and everything. But like looking back and like the trailer, I don't know, just it feels generic, you know, like, and there's nothing wrong with that because I love action movies. It's just like, whatever they did in that like 50 seconds, whatever it was. And like to hype it up that much, like even it has a freaking emoji. It has an emoji. And like,
are you serious?
It does like hashtag Snake Eyes. And you're like, how is there an emoji already? Like, I don't understand this, but I'm sitting at a 5. I agree with Christian. I'm sitting at a 5. I love Henry Golding and like, I just hope it's solid. I'm not prepared to be like blown away by this movie.
Yeah, and the first one, Rise of the Cobra, I remember when it came out back in like 2008, I want to say.
Back in the day.
I was kind of like, back in the day, Cafe? I was kind of like, do we really need this? Is it really necessary? Then they made a second one, another movie that's super unnecessary. It was fun, and Snake Eyes, I think, as a character was awesome. Never been a big G.I. Joe guy. I think that was totally like kids born in the 80s and maybe even late 70s. That was like their jam. That Transformers, TMNT. And I did my toes in some of that stuff in the Transformers and TMNT stuff. But G.I. Joe just kind of went over my head, man. I mean, look, growing up in the Power Rangers generation, like G.I. Joe. So it's never been like a fandom I rush to. And then the other 2 movies are extremely forgettable. Extremely, like honestly, Rise of Cobra. What was the one after Rise of Cobra?
Was
I don't even remember the name. Retaliation. Yeah. It's like it almost sounds like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but won't get into all that. But it's just watch it, but it's okay. Retaliation. Yeah, I'm sure. Or Mortal Kombat,
the new one that just came out. Oh, watch it. I know, that's why I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't care, but it's okay. I'm sorry.
Look, I know Ryan hated it. I was okay. Yeah. It was all right. Nothing big.
Just not gonna do it.
3 out of 10 for Joey's movie blog. Yeah, you know, man, like I'm sitting at a hard 4. Look, I'm looking forward to the action. I can't wait for that. Like, that's going to be awesome. But the guy who directed it, like directed the Insurgent, the Virgin series, I'm like, dude, those weren't that good.
Oh, now I'm dropping it to a 3 because you said that.
Damn.
Those movies, they suck. Okay, they suck. They're horrible. Jeez. I couldn't even sit through Divergent. And I'm like, okay, forget it. I'm going to even try with this franchise.
What was his name? I'm trying to look him up.
That's rough.
I think he's the cinematographer. No, because he was involved with Divergent. Okay, I'll have to look him up a little bit later. But I mean, like, seriously, you the guy behind the Insurgent. It's not even Divergent. It's the 2 that come after it. So Allegiant and Insurgent.
No, thank you.
Like, dude, I am good.
We skip.
Dropped you to a 3, goddamn it.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. But Henry Golding is perfect. So.
See, I don't even know who G.I. Jose is. No idea.
Don't know.
Christy's here. What up, Christy? Representing for the 80s kids. Nice. Did you like G.I. Joe a lot? Lo, did you like G.I. Joe a lot? Please let me know. Because it seems like a very selective fandom. Like, it just seems very precise. Like, it does. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it seems like He-Man and some of these, it just kind of gets lost in translation. What up, man?
I feel like it's just such a weird gap. between franchises for some reason, like very like distinct franchises where it's like maybe they had nothing in that period and they're like, okay, G.I. Joe is like gonna come in and be famous for that like time period. I don't know, it just feels that way. Such a random franchise.
Randomly thrown again. Okay, so the guy's name is Robert Schwentke. I think I'm saying that correctly.
All right.
He did Red, Divergent Insurgent, Divergent Allegiant, The Captain, and now Snake Eyes. I'm just like, good Lord, man.
I liked Red, but the rest,
it's fun.
So like 1 out of 7. That's
the time traveler's wife.
1 out of 7. So,
yeah, that one don't get me jumping. Let's just say that. Nope.
We're good.
The consensus seems to be like on the lower end, though. 8 out of 10. G.I. Joe, not for me. So would you say G.I. No? That was a good one. Come on. Give me my flowers.
So every time, I don't know if you remember this, this in Eddie Murphy's Delirious, but there is a piece where he says that he's a kid and he's in the bathtub and like he has a little G.I. Joe figurine and like he's playing with him in the bathtub. And like it's too much to say right now on the stream, but guys, please look up Eddie Murphy G.I. Joe in Delirious because it's just.
I know exactly what you're gonna say, and I'm like, "Yep, I hear you." Maybe a little too much,
yeah,
but it's fucking hilarious.
It's amazing. It's a little song, and oh my god, I love it. Just
Delirious is like so wildly inappropriate for today's time.
I love it. I love it. I have it on DVD. I love that shit. It was so good.
See, okay, Thundercats. Thundercats was better.
I've never seen Thundercats, so sorry.
I mean, no, that one's, I mean, it's kind of like one of those more obscure, just like He-Man. It's like,
yeah, it's the weird transitional period.
Right.
We'll it's like that.
Yeah. It's like you never walk into a room and say He-Man and expect like a bunch of people to know. But if you say Spider-Man, like everybody and their mom's gonna be like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and did it. Like it's just not really a super known fandom.
It's true.
All right, let's go to our next 1 to 10 though. The Forever Purge. So this is what, the 5th movie in the Purge franchise, I want to say. And
why? It's the same concept. How many times are you gonna like? Why? I don't understand. Sorry, but like, why?
I mean, hey, I was gonna ask you, man. I'm not an expert on the Purge series.
I watched the first. No, I binged them for Halloween last year. I did, and like because I watched them back to back, they kind of all blurred together. But the first one was really good because it's in a suburban community, like a rich suburban community. So it's all locked up there. Zero-less
Purge's franchise.
I love that, Tyler. Yeah, I'm not sitting at a 1 because like I just don't care about the Purge anymore. Like it's the same thing as the Saw films, where like how much more can you do? It's the same bloody situation. Like the story's not going to change. Like how much more can you do? So with the Purge, it's like how many more people are going to like put the siren off and like kill them? Like how many times are you going to do it? So I'm literally sitting at a 0 for the Forever Purge. That trailer did absolutely nothing, and I'm just done with that franchise.
It's like every single Purge that comes out, I'm literally just like, oh look, it's just another theme with the same exact movie. Like the last one was the election. I'm like, it's just a new theme, a new skin for the same game. It's literally just GTA 5 again. Like, come on,
man. It's true.
Shit. Oh, Christy, I see you walking in the room, throwing out the He-Man and Thundercats lines. Look, I'll understand He-Man, but Thundercats, it's good, but I'll probably be like, wait, what?
I love it.
Looks like everybody else is with us. Negative 10,000. Damn.
Yes. Let's bring the Purge franchise to an end.
Meh out of 10. Holy
oh my God,
shit.
Andrew, I'm with you. It's definitely a meh out of 10. 100%. I'm with you.
They need to stop with the Purge movies after the second one. Yeah, they should have just stopped, man. Let's be real. The first one I thought was such an interesting concept because it's like, yeah, you know, get everybody in. Okay, everybody got 24 hours to do whatever the fuck you want. I thought, wow, what a cool horror concept, especially because that can become horrifying very quickly. And it did, as we saw in the first movie. But then it's just like, you keep replaying this
It's
shit over and
annoying.
over and over, and now it's a law. Now there's a day, and this is the purge day. It's like, okay, come on. It was cool the first time, but
I feel like in the modern horror era that we're currently in, if it does well at the box office, they don't give a shit what they put out anymore. The same thing happened with Paranormal Activity. I remember people losing their freaking minds when that first one came out. Bro, that doesn't mean keep making the exact same movie over and over and over. That's not what this means. It means that it was a success. Like sometimes you just need a one-off horror film, but all horror films fall into that for some reason. And then they're not as good. They're not as strong, right? And they just kind of spiral out of control, just like Saw did.
And it actually dethroned Saw. So Paranormal Activity, when it came out, it was the same weekend as Saw 3 or 4. And at the time when Saw 4 was running, it was the lowest box office return for any Saw because Paranormal Activity took it away from it. And I'm like, all you guys had to do, and this seems to be way too hard, but all they have to do is keep on releasing new shit. Boom, we come out of Paranormal Activity. Boom, come out with The Purge. Okay, next up is Hereditary. It seems like it's just too hard to pull away from these franchises when they do good.
No. Because they know they're going to make bank, and each studio has a different franchise to deal with. So they're like, yeah, let's slap this one together. Who cares if it doesn't make the same money? Because the demographic. And I worked at a movie theater, so I know what happens when these horror films
run the numbers, okay, girl.
The demographic is literally these stupid 16-year-olds that come in and they try to get into a rated R movie. I'm sorry if anyone's 16 watching, I apologize, but it's who I dealt with at the box office, that they try to sneak into an R-rated film. They end up doing it. I don't know how, but it's the 16-year-olds that go and their asses are in those seats, and that's what ends up happening. Right? So if you know that that's your demographic, you're going to get those kids coming into all of those films. Of course, they're going to pump them out. Of course. Why wouldn't I? I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being one of those 16-year-old kids trying to break in, but
I did it too. But looking back, it's we shouldn't have done that because,
Because let's be real, them Conjuring movies after... the Conjuring franchise is a little bit different. After Conjuring 2, when they came to Annabelles, I was kind of like, okay, I'm out, guys. Y'all lost me. You lost me. And then they had The Nun come out, and I was like, went in, came out horrified at how bad it was. Excuse me. And then now we're here for another Conjuring, and I'm like, it's just like The Purge, man. I'm starting to get a little tired, y'all. It's a little much. Because it's like, Saw, what is Spiral? Saw 9? 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
Saw 9, folks. Did you ever think we would get this far with the Saw franchise?
Honestly, no. And I binge watched them, and oh my God, it was just so much of the same. And then once you get to 7, I said this in my review, when you get to 7, 8, 9, it looks way too polished. And I think that's what takes away from what happened with the original 3 Saw films, is that it looks grimy and gross. And you're taking away from that atmosphere if it's too polished. So you have to find a way to just end it. Stop it. Just stop trying to reinvent this freaking franchise, because you can't. You've done everything possible already.
That's the thing about Jigsaw that threw me off so hard, is I was like, they're really trying for this cinematic experience. And I'm like, dude, go back and watch the first Saw when they're just in the middle of somebody's effing basement.
So good.
Let's just bring that energy back to the franchise, and it can never get back there.
Yeah.
It kind of just lost its luster after 6, if you ask me.
It's true. I agree.
What up, Ryan O'Toole? Shout out, homie. What's up? The word purge just makes me gag. It's like a reflex word in and of itself. Yeah, let's just purge the purge. Let's just get rid of it, man.
Let's just purge the purge.
All right, so I know you're very excited for this next one.
Am I?
I know you are. I know you are. Do you know what it is?
No.
1 to 10. Friends reunion. How we feeling?
I'm at an 11. No, I'm not at an 11. I'm not.
Oh, man.
I'm not. I'm sitting at a 7. And the reason why we had this conversation, the reason why I'm sitting at a 7 is that the guest list is ridiculous for a Friends reunion. I'm really upset that Justin Bieber is going to be there. Cara Delevingne is going to be there. James Corden is going to be there. Like, I literally don't understand why you're getting all these extra people. Maybe the show did have an impact on them growing up. Maybe that's why they're there. But it's just a random list of people that is going to take away from the cast reuniting. And I don't want that to happen, because with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, it was just them. Mm-hmm. And that's so much better than bringing in these other people. And it's such a bummer. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, Friends, I love more than anything. It's like one of my favorite shows of all time. But just that guest list, it's just like,
it's heavy, man. I mean, you can bring in Reese Witherspoon, but you can't bring in Reese without her spoon. You know what I'm saying? There are too many people on this cast list. Like, you got motherfucking BTS. I was like, really? Like
why?
Justin Bieber. I'm like, come on now. You weren't even born when Friends started, my guy. Like, what are we doing here? So I just think it should have went down a lot more like the Fresh Prince special, where it's just like, even if you want to bring in a couple of guest cast members like Gabrielle Union, and you want to bring in Reese Witherspoon and people who were regulars on the series,
Anna Faris, Applegate, like,
go that route. I'm cool with that. Like them popping in for a second, you know what I mean? And being like, hey guys, that's kind of cute, but come on now. Are we really going to just fish through all these celebrities and be like, bring the most popular? Lady Gaga. Come on, guys.
I don't know anymore. I don't know what they do. They want to make a big thing out of it. I'm just like, can't.
Yeah. My without her spoon is doing well. I appreciate y'all.
Don't laugh at him. Don't laugh.
Guys, Amanda is literally just sitting there the whole time like,
did you see my face?
Yeah, you're holding a good poker face, but I know in the inside you're like,
Nope.
Ooh, 0 out of 10 for Christian. I'm sitting at about a 7 as well, because the guest list.
It's the guest list. It does. It brings it down, man. Like, I'm with you.
And I'm going to say something about the Fresh Prince reunion, even though I love the Fresh Prince reunion, one of my favorite shows of all time. Love the reunion. Love getting to see the Aunt Vivs meet each other and that really cordial, like, friendship between the two of them, and then Will Smith and the old Aunt Viv making up. I love that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. The problem I'm having is I'm like, guys, can y'all give me another fucking episode? Like, how about we do this? Let's have the cast reunion. That's 1 hour. Boom, 1 hour special. Then give us like a half an hour episode. Like, give us an episode, man.
Yes.
Like, give us Rachel and Ross. See what happened to them. Oh, it's been how long? Like 15 years. It's been like 15 years since the show ended. Oh, here's where their characters are at. Here's where, like.
Is it? No, Emma's 18. Emma's officially 18. Their kid is officially 18. Yeah, I know, because she posted that it was her birthday, and she was on the Warner Brothers lot at the Central Park Cafe that's there, and she's like, "Oh, happy 18th birthday to me!" And everyone's like, "Oh my god, like full circle." They need to like show the video and everything, and it was just like next level. Yeah, see, obsession.
Lord.
Obsession. So.
Are you obsessed?
I am. I have it on DVD. I have the entire series on DVD, and I love it so much. So.
I've got the last 2 seasons that I borrowed from a friend before HBO Max came out, because I was like, I need like an interim. I watched Friends for the first time last year before the pandemic. I started 2019, and man, what a series. Like, it was fun beginning to end. Look, I'm a Monica guy, Team Monica all day long, but I like that series up to about like the second to last season. I thought it was very strong. And even the last 2 seasons weren't bad. They just weren't nearly as strong writing and character-wise as the beginning. Happens in most sitcoms. So
because you're trying to wrap it up and you don't know how to wrap it up.
Exactly. Especially when the network's like, we'll give you 30 more seasons. And you're just like,
they were the first cast to ask for $1 million each, I think, for their last season. Yeah. And then Big Bang Theory did it right after for their 10th as well. I remember that. Like copycats.
Shoot, get them checks, y'all. Like, I don't blame you.
They're smart, so.
They're like, we've been doing this for a decade. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I would too. So
Jennifer Aniston is Jennifer Aniston now. Back 10 years ago, she was just little Jenny Aniston showing up on the set.
See, I love Rachel. I love Rachel, but I am literally, my personality type is literally Joey Tribbiani, and I have embraced that.
So you kick back and eat meatball subs all day long?
Always.
That sounds about right. I'm
love
it.
Such a Joey.
I've been called a mix of Rachel and Ross, so I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
A mix?
Yeah.
I can see Ross.
I'm cool with that. I like Ross. He's my favorite guy character. Him and Joey are the best.
Chandler's like my favorite.
Chandler's cool. The only thing I have against Chandler is that, like, I know he's like the kind of stick up guy. Like, he's like the kind of stick up his ass guy of the group. But he's always a great, reliable friend. I'm like, character wise, Joey and Ross just have more energy and they have more character to them.
See, everyone hates Ross, but here's the thing. When you watch David Schwimmer, he does not get the recognition he deserves because he's so freaking great at physical comedy.
Yeah.
I cry laughing within the first episode when he meets Rachel for the first time in the coffee shop, like after like X amount of years, and his umbrella pops open. Like, it is just the funniest thing ever. And he handles it so well. Oh my God, I love him.
And he's just so over the top and like energetic. And
that was
like,
dude. I think it was season 3 or 4 when he marries Emily, and then he has his anger management issues, and it's just like, God, the sandwich. I'm okay. I can talk about it all day. Like, I just keep going. I can't.
Yo, dude, I want to go to Central Perk and just chill, just kick my feet up. You know, like the atmosphere is cool. That's the thing, man. Is like the '90s atmospheres are just always so cool. The fashion's dope. Like,
oh my God. What
I do gotta say, and I will add in this tidbit. I'm like, they know good and well they needed a black friend. Like, come on now. In the middle of New York, you know, good and well, there's a bunch of African-American and Latino people in New York. Y'all know good and well y'all could have diversified that cast a little bit.
Very true.
Still love it, though. Still love it.
It's very true.
What up, Sports Bar? Chandler was his dude.
The Chan man. It's true. He's the best.
Or Chandler was that dude. Excuse me. Which dude? Team Chandler?
Yay, Lo! Yay, Loretto.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Team Chandler always.
Team Ross, baby. Team Ross and Joey.
The only person I know who's Team Ross. I swear to God, this is special.
Honestly, like, I will say this. Rachel shouldn't have got off that plane. It's like, you should have left homeboy just chilling.
No. Oh my God, I cry with that finale every single time it's on. That is literally one of the best television finales I've ever seen in my life. And it still hits me every single time. Oh, damn. You didn't like the finale? Oh, no. Are you serious?
I have a couple issues with the finale. The first one is nobody's with Joey for real. Second one, really? Rachel got off the plane? Bro, go to Paris with her. Just go.
We don't know. They could have. We don't know. It's just the point of, like, she got off the plane and like the message on the phone, and then she shows up. It's just such a beautiful moment. Like that.
I just think it kind of was like this hurry up offense for like the last like 4 episodes, and I was like, okay, y'all really rushed us to this conclusion of Rachel getting off for him. I didn't get enough. Like, I didn't feel enough love. I felt like a last minute, like, oh, please don't leave. And then she didn't leave. Like, homie, just grab a ticket and go to fucking France. Go.
I get it. I understand. I think I'm just biased, but I understand.
No, I hear it.
I love it so much. Yeah.
I'm the same way about the Fresh Prince finale. I'm like, perfect ending. Boom, right there.
I don't even remember it. This is going to bother me now.
They all move out. Like,
is that the last scene? That's the scene
when he has the hands in the pocket.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Okay, good. Okay, I thought that was like a different episode. No, it's that one. Okay.
Somebody made a meme back a couple years ago. It was like after Cardi B sleeps over at your place, and it was like, Will, oh shit, on his hands in the pockets, nothing there.
I love that. Anyways.
Oh,
they don't know that we know that they know the best.
That they know that we know.
Yeah, we know. Oh my God, I love that.
Oh, Ross, I'm not whiny though. I'm not whiny. I'm not.
You're not. I'm joking.
You already know. I'm like, no,
I'm joking.
I think most people didn't like the.
I've
heard some people say they love the finale. Besides Manda, though, I've heard like a pretty decent consensus, but I
get it. Especially with Joey, I get it. But like that was the time where like they did spin-offs for their lead characters, and he got one, and I watched that show, and like I watched it for 2 seasons, and I think that it was better off for Joey to like kind of move on like on his own and just explore who he is, because we never really got much of character development from Tribbiani at all, and like it was good that he had his own show and he did what he did.
And he's like a very likable character, and even the actor is amazing. Matt LeBlanc, I think is his name. He's a good guy, and I'm just like, that was, in my opinion, I think if you gave a show to any of those characters, it would be him. Mm-hmm. But I part of me was a little upset that him and Phoebe didn't get together, but I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, well, the show is called Friends. And the writers themselves did say it would just be way too perfect if everybody in the group got together. So it's like, okay, somebody in this group, they got to be friends in some capacity. So Phoebe, then she end up with Paul Rudd. So it's like, okay.
How do you not? It's just, oh my God, it's just so funny. Mike Crapbag Hannigan. Like,
yep.
Holy shit, it's just a good scene. I'm sorry, I love it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Christian. Well, I will say this: it's not a heavy spoiler. There's still more to the finale, so I promise, there's plenty more.
But there's also so much to unpack in every single season, so like it doesn't feel like you're robbed of that finale moment. So.
I promise you, Christian, you'll still love it. All right, Amanda, let's talk about this quite strange development here between Warnermedia and Discovery. They decided to take both, like, so AT&T took the Warnermedia conglomerate and Discovery, and they're fusing to become a new company comprised of all the franchises, all the media franchises. Doesn't this seem a little odd to you? I can't really fathom whether or not I think it's a good or a bad idea. I understand where they're coming from because they're trying to really beef up their streaming. Oh, Wanda. They're trying to really beef up their streaming strength. But at the same time, I just think it's so random for them to like merge together just to try to compete against Disney and Netflix, who are the two top, but Disney being with Hulu, then Netflix on its own. I'm just kind of like, look, Warner, aren't you guys in third place? Like,
they're not even in third place though, Leo.
That's right, because they're like under Peacock. They're under, you know what? Here's the problem. They're not in other countries.
No.
Dude, if they're global, hello.
They dug themselves a massive hole because they did not have a plan to begin with. They jumped on the bandwagon because Disney did it. Everything that was announced first through Disney Plus was then announced with Warnermedia and HBO Max. So if you did not have a clear plan in how to roll out your streaming service, this is where you're going to land. This is where you're going to land with no original content that's even like, what do they have on there that's original, like television series? Like, what do they have other than like HBO in general and the HBO originals that they have? The movie rollout has been whack, to be perfectly honest. The one draw that you did have, you didn't even want, and you messed up the marketing on Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it's just the fact that like you're throwing all of that away. Majority of the people that got HBO Max, what was it for? They wanted to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Majority of
Godzilla versus Kong.
Or I'm not saying that. But the original draw, when that was announced, those it skyrocketed the second that was announced. The second Zack said that was confirmation was going to HBO Max, skyrocketed. You have that. I'm not saying that that's why they're like drowning. That's not what I'm saying. It's the simple fact is that you don't have a plan for your rollout. They did everything last second, so the plan just kind of like fell apart. So in this case with Discovery, it's the most random pairing that you can think of, but they need to have some sort of direction here moving forward. or else they're not going to even get to like Netflix or Disney Plus numbers. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real here. The library that Discovery has is crap. Look, guys, show of hands. Let me know down in the comments, guys, who has Discovery Plus?
I didn't even know it existed. Like
exactly. It's like at this point, it came out back in, I want to say February or March. I did a video on it, looked at it. It was a cool service, whatever. But really, we going to put guys' grocery games in the next fucking Batman movie? Like, is that where we're headed, really? Like, so for me, I see where they're coming from a marketing standpoint, because Discovery Plus has a very niche market. It's got a very specific amount and specific people that it's targeting. I'm sure it's most likely, just guessing, mid-30s to mid-50s women. Just guessing. Then you're going to merge that into your Warnermedia library, and instead of continuing to push things like Zack Snyder's Justice League, GVK, and get kind of the geekier, kind of the more nerdy conglomerate of people, they're going to be merging these two brands, and now you have two focuses. I don't know, man. This just doesn't, to me, it seems like parents that are getting together that are going to be divorced within a year. It just doesn't seem right. To me, it seems half-assed, and it's just like, oh, we just want more content on the library, so let's just pick up Discovery.
But that's the thing, like, it just bothers me so much because Warner Brothers has such a fantastic library. They have such a fantastic library, and it's extensive, and you just, how are you misusing this? Like, how are you doing this? How? I just don't understand how you are screwing this up this badly, where AT&T stepped in for a year and then they drop you? Like, what? And now you're switching things around. People are getting fired. People are moving out. And it's like, what is even happening there? Like, this shouldn't be happening this quick and just like in public. Like, this stuff shouldn't be getting out the way it is. Obviously, like, you have to tweet. You have to write articles and stuff. I get that. But it's just like, it's so in the news 24/7 that I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You know, the Warnermedia CEO was like negotiating his buyout right now. I mean, I'm just like, dude, you gave, like, it feels to me like I'm going to initiate HBO Max, do all this stuff, and then back out. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was like you were Bob Chapek for 2 years only. That would be like if Bob Chapek came in at Disney mid-Marvel when he came in and then just leaving after 2 movies. All right, guys. Yeah. Well, like what?
You have to see this stuff through. And if you don't like what's happening, then you have the power to fix it. Just saying.
Batman versus Guy Fieri. Dawn of Flavortown.
I would watch the shit out of that. I love it.
Oh, shit. I mean, let's be real. That Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is fire. But how many people are going to come to this streaming service wanting the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? It's just like, that's such a random amount of programming that they're grabbing. How many people are going to actually subscribe to this service for the Discovery half? And not to mention, they're building up HBO Max. They had this really fucked up, but at the same time, a plan that was working by releasing the movies simultaneously on HBO Max and in theaters, which, again, pretty messed up for them not to go to the studios and the crew and talent and say, like, hey, this is what we're doing. Pretty jacked up. They do that and then pull out and say, oh, we're going to merge with Discovery. Like, that's just the weirdest sequence of moves ever. Wouldn't you see through the HBO Max theater simultaneous releases first? Get to that era. There's no phase. You're right. There's no plan. There's no phases. There's no rollouts. Nobody's saying, like, hold on, before we do this merger, let's get through this simultaneous release thing first, see how the numbers phase out. Nobody, it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong, seems to me in that board meeting, they're literally just all taking shit on their hands and throwing it at the wall and saying, let's see which one of these sticks. And they're just going to go with whatever it is.
It's the truth. It's true.
Let me ask you, out of this merger, do you think that it's going to affect the DCEU at all?
No. I think whatever they have slated, and it's just going to stay like that. Because the only one that we're really getting any news on is Shazam! Fury of the Gods and Black Adam. You hear nothing from everything else that they've announced. Like, even the Flash film. The Flash film's like, we started filming. Did you see anything? You haven't heard nothing from that set. Nothing from that set. So
WB wastebasket.
I mean, you're not wrong, man.
But no, you're on a roll. What were you saying?
No, it's the truth. It's just the fact that like you don't hear anything except from Shazam and Black Adam and the Flash just started filming. You're not going to hear. And this is the thing. Like I genuinely, and I've said this multiple times before, I am out. I have checked out after Zack Snyder's Justice League because I just do not appreciate the treatment that they, you know, the way that they treated their talent, their director, their filmmakers, the team behind that film. I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't. And it's just so public that it's even like that's on your track record. That's on your track record officially. Like you can't wipe that slate. You cannot wipe it. It's there. It's there. And they're doing nothing about it. So it's really just bothering me that every single time something new comes out, it's used as like a distraction with anything. So it's not genuine moves. And also like for me, especially, and like this whole Superman situation that happened, Henry doesn't deserve that after starting the DCEU, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And then what you're doing is the fact that like you're not using other versions of Superman. You're reconstructing Clark Kent. Why? Why would you like? Why?
I have an opinion on that one, which is unpopular. I would much rather it be Calvin Ellis or Val Zod. Don't get me wrong, but I think I'm okay with it being Clark Kent, and that's weird for me to say because at first I was like, really, they're going to use Clark Kent, and then I thought about it. I'm like, well, Clark Kent's actual race is Kryptonian, so if they want to just make him black, that's fine. I would prefer Val Zod over all of them because I don't really want to get into like presidential stuff with Calvin Ellis. But if they went Val Zod, I thought that would be cool. But I kind of see where they're coming from, keeping it as Kal-El, just because if you go Val Zod, we're suddenly pulling from different Earths and all this. There's no concrete plan right now anyway.
So, there isn't, but that's what I'm saying. Like that was announced, right?
Mm-hmm. And it was like, where the fuck did this come from?
No, like, do we hear anything? Like, literally, we hear nothing about it. So it's like they have all these plans, but like they're not in phases. We have no idea when half of these films are coming out, when they're going into production, what's even going to happen. We have no idea. They just keep announcing things. And it's like, it's all over the place. So am I going to get hyped up over something that I don't even know if it's going to come out or not? Like they pulled New Gods, they pulled The Trench, and like New Gods, Ava DuVernay like worked on that for 3 years.
Oh man, The Trench, bro. God,
like, I didn't.
looking forward to that.
I honestly didn't care for The Trench. Sorry, but like it's just. No. I'm sorry, but with New Gods especially, like knowing that she worked on that for 3 years, anything can be pulled at any time if you really look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they can just yank the rug from under anybody. What up, Sonny? Welcome. Hey! He was on the same thought plane as you with the Henry Cavill disrespect. I mean, look, you know what? Y'all go ahead, get rid of Henry Cavill. We'll take him in Marvel, okay?
Literally,
like, we will take him. Bring him right over.
We'll treat him better, honestly. Like. My God.
Give us our Sentry, baby. Okay, no, that would be too easy. But that would be kind of cool to have Sentry in the MCU just tearing shit up. Oh, man. But yeah, you know, the way I feel about the DCEU is just from the start, there was no plan. So anything that comes out about the DCEU, I'm just like, oh, big surprise. They're doing an Hour Man film. Big surprise. They're doing this. They're doing that. Green Lantern is canceled. If that happens, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm going to be like, oh, look, another DCEU move.
Like, nothing. I don't care anymore. And that makes me so sad because being someone who was so invested from like BVS onwards with everything that came out, like, are you kidding that we lost all of that, all that momentum, all that build up, and we lost it? It's like, where's the logic behind that?
It's sad because you were like so into DC, and I was like, that's her thing, and
I loved it. I love
Marvel fandom. I was like, I'm gonna let you have it.
I love Marvel too. Don't get me wrong. That's my first love, like 100%. But it is my first love. Don't look at me like that. It is. Spider-Man was like number one for me growing up.
Okay.
So don't go there.
I'm happy.
I'm just saying, it's just the fact that like that getting invested in Man of Steel, seeing how he did Superman differently, I was interested in that. And then I wanted to see more of that. And then when I saw BVS, like I know everyone's thoughts about BVS. I completely get it. They're all valid points. I get it. But I just had so much fun with that movie. And I love seeing Ben Affleck as Batman. I love all of that. Like it's just something that I was blown away with. And I wanted to see more of it. So that buildup is just shattered and it's wasted. And you threw everything away and it just, I don't care anymore. I don't. The only thing I care about is the Shazam, and whatever else happens.
I mean, at this point, you kind of got to pick your franchise because it's kind of, they're just all toppling over at this point. And DC, EU, the future slate that we see is not going to be the same. Like even 6 months down the line, it's likely to change. I mean, we had New Gods, we had The Trench gone.
Yep.
We had a Cyborg movie gone. We had a Green Lantern movie gone. It's been made into a series now. We'll see. I mean, it's just like everything they say is like, just take it with a grain of salt because it's 50-50 likely chance that it will not happen. And they gave us The Flash, but they gave us a sneak peek, right? So I don't know if you saw it. They gave us a sneak peek. It was a fucking moving graphic. I was like, okay, so after all this time,
and it doesn't
somebody sat on a computer for a couple days, made this shit up, and nothing else is happening.
And it doesn't even look good. But anyways.
It looks like the show graphic. I thought it was another season of the show. I was like, oh, okay, another Flash season.
I was like,
no, it's the movie.
I was like, why is this CW-esque for like a freaking big budget? Anyways,
and isn't the movie going to be called The Flash? And I'm like, the damn TV show's called The Flash. Come on, man.
I thought they were just going to stick with it and call it Flashpoint. But like, if they're going to make it any more confusing, like, why not? Like, why not? Apparently, it's supposed to fix everything. And we got 2 Batmans in that movie. And, like, Supergirl comes in, and it's a replacement for Superman because Henry Cavill's gone. And it's like, okay, sure. So why don't we just make it difficult for everyone at this point?
We might even have 3 Batmans in that movie. So, like, fuck. I mean, for real, a rumor was going around that it was going to be Batman Beyond as well. I'm just like, dude, is this the Flash or is this the Bat family? Like, what are we working with here?
Not only, like, what bothers me is the fact that, like, we didn't even get enough of the Flash in BVS or Zack Snyder's Justice League or Justice League to warrant his film, his standalone, to be overstuffed the way it is. So what are you trying to do? If you want to retcon something, freaking type out an article and be like, this is what we're fixing moving forward. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we're going to do. And like, that's it. And that's all we technically need. Type that shit out. I don't need it in a movie. I don't. I'm sorry.
She said, look, spell out the fucking Flashpoint on a piece of paper, homie. We don't want to see it. Especially, and this is a little bit controversial, but especially after the Ezra stuff, I'm just like, dude, the way they kind of swept that up under the rug and now they're just blowing Ray Fisher off. I'm just kind of like, okay, like
they have this a horrible
Flashpoint. They do. I'm like, all right, so we're gonna blow off Ray Fisher, who's probably out here preaching the truth, but we're gonna also blow off the fact that Ezra Miller pushed the fucking woman over in a cop video. But I mean, I don't know the context behind that. I just know that it did not look good. And it has me less excited to see him as Flash. But whatever.
Anyways.
Right. That's a topic for another video.
We can literally go on forever with how stupid their moves have been and are going to be.
I just hope that they clean up and they get somebody, because they had an opportunity to have Kevin Feige and Zack Snyder. They had the opportunity to just say, look, man, you're going to EP all the movies. We're going to kind of spell out your Justice League plan. And then in between, we got Patty working on the next Wonder Woman. We got this person working here. You be the guy to come in, oversee all this shit. It would have been great. Lead up to that dark side shit that they were planning with Superman being evil and taking the world down. Yo, I was here for that. But
what bothers me the most about like Zack's entire plan being like written out, he like handed him the keys to the kingdom of DC. And it's the fact that like, it would have been so great to have something like complete opposite of what the MCU is doing. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that because the MCU does what it does best. Like after freaking 4 phases, they're killing it day in and day out. But it's like, stop. Exactly. DC is always trying to be Marvel, and then that's where they're failing. Stop doing that. Stop it. Like, that's it. It's a completely different, like, comic book, like, run for DC like versus Marvel. We know the differences. We see how clear the differences are in the comics and in the characters themselves. So, like, why are you trying to, why? What is the competition? Why? Just be your own thing. That's why you're Warner Brothers. That's why you're DC. That's why you're HBO Max. You are a different entity. Make it different and unique. You have the material.
Everybody's looked at Marvel and has hailed them for essentially creating what hasn't been done before, this ginormous cinematic universe that spans over 20 movies, over a decade. Yeah. Each one, just about, not all of them, but each one is a box office success, leads to more and more and more.
Yeah.
Everybody, I just feel like any superhero media needs to not look at that and go their own way. And it works when they do that, because look at The Boys, look at Invincible, look at all these non-Marvel, non-DC properties that are doing amazingly, because they're not saying, oh, well, Invincible, we're going to have an Invincible TV show. And to build up to that, we're going to have an Adam Eve TV show. And to build up to that, we're going to have an Omni-Man. No. They're rolling with their own formula, and DC has such a great formula that I think could have been implemented since day one. And for me, in my opinion, I said, forget the universe, screw the DCU, do one-off movies. Have one Justice League, fine, but do one-off movies, no connecting, no tissues, nothing. Individual character movies, because their characters in DC are richer. Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash. You can really relate to these characters, even though some of them are gods, some of them are rich men. You can still have these relatable, great stories that are just self-contained, no MCU-like threads, no Thor coming in here and there. None of that. Just have single movies like the Joker. Look, I liked it. I know not everybody did, but the Batman, that could have set you up for another. Why not just roll with that? Why not just have single movies that center on these characters and give them a strong spotlight that they deserve? Like Batman and the Batman. We're finally going to get to see Bruce Wayne doing some detective work. It looks like we're going to get to see him kind of at the year 2 mark of Batman, where he's still a little rugged, still a little rough, but starting to get that formula down. Those are moments we want to see. Literally take your best comic issues and make them into movies, and then be like, nope, we're not a universe. They cross over here and there, but these are just the characters that we've taken directly from the comics, and we're just adapting those lines. Yeah. Why doesn't anybody do that? I think that is such a great opportunity for those characters.
They tried.
This is an amazing username. Gumbo Geek.
Hey.
Let us know where your favorite Gumbo is from. Pretty sad that DC can't hit home runs with the A+ characters. See, but Marvel hit home runs with B and C characters.
The reason why is the fact that they structured them properly, and they built an entire universe with these B and C characters because there were no other like comic book films being like structured in that way. We had our Spider-Man, we had the X-Men, right? We had Batman and Batman and Batman and Batman and Superman and Batman, and like we had all that stuff, and it's like where was there room? There was nothing. So they like coming in and being like, we're gonna do the standalone films and then a team up, and then these standalone films and then a team up, and it's like that was genius at the time, because again, we didn't have that. So we didn't give a shit which characters they were going to put on screen, to be perfectly honest, because we went in blind. We didn't know anything. I'm going to be straight with you. The only Marvel characters that I knew were the X-Men and Spider-Man. Then when I went to go watch Iron Man, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to start reading these comics. I'm going to figure everything out. And that's what happened with all of that. Like, it was a learning curve in like when there was nothing, to be perfectly honest. And that's why it worked. Where DC had the characters, but they chose to do freaking Batman 5,000,001 times when they could have just done a Flash movie or a Wonder Woman movie and be unique on their own. But that's where Marvel like really just benefited in a time where we had nothing.
Because let's be real here, all the characters I went down, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, those are characters that everybody recognizes. Everyone, even people who don't read comics, people who don't watch Justice League. You say Wonder Woman, they know who you're talking about. You say Green Lantern, they know who you're talking about. You say Aquaman, they know. But if you said somebody, I'm talking over a decade ago, if you said Captain America, they'd be like, who?
Exactly.
Iron Man, who? I'm sorry, who's that? Thor. Mm-hmm.
No one would know.
It's like literally Marvel has done exactly what you said. They took the characters and they made such a great formula out of it that now they are the mainstays of Marvel Comics. They weren't even, it was like before that, it was Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, a couple others. It was like nobody who was reading Captain America, at least our age, before the movies came out. Not a lot of us. Some of us were, but not a lot of us. I wasn't reading Iron Man. I was reading X-Men, Hulk, Spider-Man. Those were my 3.
Wolverine, all that stuff. Like that's what your focus is, because that's what we had. That's what we had. But guess what? It was also generic. And I'm not saying that those films are bad. We had the Fantastic Four. We had Spider-Man. We had the X-Men. But it was like, okay, this is going to be a trilogy now. Thanks. This is going to be this. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it was. And we didn't build this entire thing. So it was just refreshing at the time. And Marvel won, man. Marvel won.
They built their characters better. They built them way better.
The structure.
Yep. All right, let's jump into this question here. Netflix versus HBO Max this weekend. The Woman in the Window versus Those Who Wish Me Dead. And I believe, both of us have seen both of them. Okay. All right. I know you didn't like Those Who Wish Me Dead as much as I did.
It was okay. It's a good movie. I just don't think that it's like, oh my God, it's fantastic.
No, it's got a generic plot, but I mean,
it was good.
The cast, whew,
best part.
All of them were looking amazing. Okay, let me ask you, between these two, if you had to choose, which one are you going for?
Oh, Those Who Wish Me Dead, for sure.
The Woman in the Window, man. What a miss.
But I enjoyed it at the same, like, you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing, and I said this in my review. It's just the fact that, like, these are films that you're gonna watch and be like, yeah, it was good. I don't expect to be like, oh my God, this is like gonna be nominated for Best Picture. Like, that's not what I'm going into. You know what you're gonna get. We watched the trailer. It's like, I didn't think it was gonna be that great to begin with. Okay, so you go into it and you're like, okay, we'll watch a free Amy Adams. That's fine. It's what it is. It's what it is. I'm not saying there's no. Like, it's not a bad film. There's so many great qualities in The Woman in the Window, cinematography, the establishing the apartment, and like her mind is being like locked in that apartment. And like, I loved all of that, the Hitchcock-esque conventions and themes that were used with Rear Window and all of that. Like, I love that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, story's a mess. The story's a mess. That's what
I love the borrowed cinematography from Rear Window. I was like, dude, this is cool being in a Hitchcock movie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like blending those themes into the movie. I thought that was such a clever way to play on what was the psychosis that she had? It was some kind of agoraphobia. Yeah,
whatever it was.
Play on the agoraphobia and at the same time seeing the crime across the street. I was like, cool. You blend psychology with Hitchcockian themes. Cool. Love it. The fuck are we doing with this like CGI car in the middle of the
I like that.
Dude, as soon as that happened, I was like, I am out. I'm out.
You know why I love that so much? It's the fact that whenever she fell, I am the woman.
Man down the window.
Whenever she fell asleep, she would see that snow. So I was like, what? I didn't even realize it was snow. I thought she was in space. And then I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but like with the snow and then what had happened, and then seeing that car in there towards like I guess the beginning of the third act, and we finally understand what happened to her and her trauma. I really loved that it was physically there. Like I loved that it was there. I thought it added so much to the apartment, to be perfectly honest, because the apartment is like a parallel to what's going on in her head. So that kind of reveal was just like so interesting to me. But then the rest of the third act happened, and that's it.
That did not do it for me. I admittedly, I was kind of like, okay, I liked the scene playing back. I think there needed to be way more Anthony Mackie. Loved that, though. I was like, yes, bring us back into it. But, man, actually, physically putting the car in the scene just took me out of it. I was kind of just like, oh, okay, well,
yep,
I'm out of it here. And then the twist.
Let's not.
Didn't really. It wasn't justified to me. I was like, there's definitely not build up to this moment happening.
No, and it just looked so bad. It just looks so bad and embarrassing, to be perfectly honest. Like,
when the killer shows up, I'm like, really? We're going to throw him in the most generic hoodie we can find in the closet and have him looking like a low-budget Michael Myers?
Yes, but it turned into like a slasher like so quick. And I'm like, okay. And then they did the close-up of her screaming. And I'm like, okay, like, why did you turn it into this? I don't understand.
They turned it from Rear Window to Psycho, and I was just like, okay, let's.
It's like, oh, it's gonna be Hitchcock everything now.
And like,
I understand.
Ooh, Anthony Mackie's a new Will Smith. I'm game for that shit.
Will Smith is still Will Smith. He's still there. He's
I mean, with the popularity, you know, I'm getting.
I get it. I hope. He just
Will's still king though, y'all. Like
he is.
We fucking with Will.
I love him so much.
All right, we'll finish off with this, Manda. Who do you want to see in Knives Out 2? Because, man, we've got some people in this movie.
I really, 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 really want to see Brian Tyree Henry in Knives Out 2.
I took mine.
Because we both watched Woman in the Window. So I'm just like, you know what? Like, I love him. I thought he was so great for the 5 minutes that he had screen time in the Woman in the Window. I think I would love to see him in there. I would love to see Kelly Marie Tran, because I know her and Ryan Johnson. So I think she'd be a cute addition. I think that would be really cool.
You got Daniel Craig, Janelle Monáe, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Katherine Hahn, and today Leslie Odom Jr. What a cast!
What?
Oh my God! Zack Snyder. Yeah, just throw him in the movie.
What? Yeah. Let's make him the killer. I think it'd be great.
Thanks for coming out, Luke Ponto. Yeah, throw Zack Snyder in and he's the one.
Why not?
It was him all along.
Let's do it.
All right, so the killer can't be Catherine or Edward Norton. That would be way too easy to figure out it's either of them.
No,
people are like Robert Downey Jr. Throw him in the cat. Come on now, like we go from Chris Evans to Robert Downey Jr.
No,
you've done this once.
We have Katherine Hahn. That's it. She's from Marvel. Let it go.
She's like one from each, guys. One from each.
Really. That's it. Henry Cavill would be good too.
Ooh, yes. I'd love to throw Lupita Nyong'o in there. Throw her in.
She's so great. I love her.
Apparently, he followed Florence Pugh, and I would like that too.
I don't think
she's Florence Pugh.
I love Pugh. I love her. I don't think that she would suit the cast for some reason.
I like Pugh. I think she would kind of round things out.
I love her.
If you want to go another Marvel, oh God, we'll put Keanu Reeves in anything.
That'd be he'd be so fun.
And have him act like the killer and it's not him.
Yes. Oh my God, he'd be so fun. I think that it's
Jeff Goldblum. All right, I'm down.
I think he would be cool as like the guy in the chair.
Yes,
and just like,
of course.
Let's organize this stuff. I think
let's look, guys. Let's
with his glasses and just like
let's lean back.
Cool. Yeah, I think it'd be so cool. That's a good one, Jeff Goldblum. Damn.
Yeah, I like Jeff Goldblum. Throw him. Keanu Reeves is a good one. Zack Snyder. Oh my God. Ryan's like, I just brought my director homie in. Like, you know.
Yes.
I mean, if they wanted to throw another black guy in the mix, John Boyega. Throw him in anything for me.
Oh my God. Can we do John Boyega and Daniel Kaluuya? Because goals.
Ooh. Where you go John Boyega and Oscar Isaac, bring them back together in some capacity.
Yeah.
What if they were like actually a couple and he was like, I finally got to do what I wanted to do.
I love how we were just like John Boyega, Daniel Kaluuya, freaking Brian Tyree Henry, throw in Donald Glover, like.
Yes. Boom. Childish Gambino. He's making beats in the back.
Everybody. Let's bring everybody in. That'd be so funny.
Oh my God. Patrick Starr. Oh man. No, this is Patrick. Yeah, throw him in the mix as well.
Squidward. No.
He just blows a clarinet in the back and everybody's like, it was him.
You know who would be great? You know who would be great? Timothy Chalamet, but it's a totally different situation.
That man has one expression on his
Leave
face.
him alone.
One.
He's amazing.
Guys, here's a Timothée Chalamet look.
That's not
And that's
him.
literally
That's not him. Did you watch Call Me by Your Name? Because it's not him.
literally half the movie and Call Me by Your Name. He's like,
because he's pining over someone. We all look like that. Be quiet.
been there. But it's just like I have more than one facial expression than
Not when you're sulking. That's not what it is like. No, it's not. Take it back.
I want to bring up that Dune still so bad right now, but I'm not gonna do it because I'm like, homie looks the exact same he looked in Call Me by Your Name, King, or whatever that was on Netflix. He looks the exact same in damn near every movie.
That's a movie still. There's a difference. It's not
Watch the trailer. Watch the trailer. He's like,
I will. I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm Paul. I'm Paul.
I love the trailer. So
it's visually amazing. Ooh, Denai Guerrera.
yes,
That'd be cool. Amelia Clark.
Liz Hopper. I love how Tyler's like, let's stick her in this one too.
Throw her in more stuff. Look,
more stuff.
Game of Thrones messed you over, so let's just throw you in more. By the way, Tyler's first time watching, so
that's right.
Tom Holland. Look, I'll take Tom Holland in anything.
I like
He's Spidey, so. Oh well, yeah. I don't sulk that often, but Timothée Chalamet seems to sulk quite a bit.
Leave my boy alone.
Mickey Mouse is the killer. Come on, kiddos, let's go find the killer. Then that motherfucker just pops up out of nowhere. It's like, you thought you got away with it, Mickey?
Oh my god! I want Donald Duck to be the killer.
That is the one noise I do not know how to make.
My dad knows how to do it.
Dude, I've come to find people just. There's some people that can just do it, and then some of us that are like, nah, I don't know, man.
My dad, it's like that, but it has to be angrier, and it's hilarious. My dad used to do it when I was a kid. I was just dying. It's like, oh my god. Anyways,
I'm gonna make the Timothée Chalamet face while you describe that story.
No, that's it. That's the story. That's it. That's not his face.
Y'all, that is literally the Timothée Chalamet. Like, wait. He's got one more. Oh man,
I'm gonna leave the stream soon.
Okay, for real. Okay. Outside of clowning on him, he would be a good addition to the cast. He would. Like with the rest of the people on the cast, he would. Or you throw in Henry Cavill.
I think so.
Henry Golding.
Ooh, yeah.
I would love to throw him in.
Love him.
Goofy is a killer. Oh gosh. Throwing Goofy and shit.
You can do his voice better than Mickey.
Oh yeah. All day long. Mickey, I don't have high enough voice anymore.
It's true.
All right, Amanda. What you got coming up on the channel?
Oh my god.
Where can the people find you? Candid Cinema.
Yeah, well, you guys can always find me over at AMX NBA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I am currently exporting my reviews for The Woman in the Window, Those Who Wish Me Dead, and Spiral from the Book of Saw, and that will be over at Candid Cinema on YouTube. You guys can check out my reviews for all of those at candidxcinema.com.
Guys, be sure to check out her content. I'm signed up for your little emails, and every time they come through, I read them. Great reviews. Head on over to candidxcinema.com and follow her over on Candid Cinema on YouTube. It is the purple C's when you search up Candid Cinema. Guys, coming up on Geekly Goods, we got Superman and Lois tonight, folks. Shit, can't wait for that, guys. It's back. It's finally back. Bad Batch. Don't know what I'm going to do there. In the Heights review coming up for that as well, coming on Friday, but that will be coming out on June. So a little early sneak peek for you guys. And then next week, there's a bunch of Quiet Place, all kinds of stuff coming up, guys, and trailers in between. So be sure to come on back. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, yo. Hit that big red subscribe button down there below. And be sure to follow Amanda on her social media accounts as well. And if you're returning, come on back next week. Come on back through. 7 p.m. MT, 6 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET, y'all. No, 9 p.m. ET, y'all. Come on back, and we will see you next time here on Geekly Goods.